Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's everything you need to know this rush hour of August 20, Tuesday. I'm Diez. Kickstarting today's rush with the Agriculture Department confirming increasing cases of swine deaths this month. The DA has yet to confirm if these were caused by African swine fever, but it has closed off a farm in Rizal as a precautionary measure. Shaila Francisco has the story.
Marks all over its body and blood surrounding the pig. This is how the caretaker of a farm in Rizal found out that one of the pigs died Monday afternoon. While the pig already had a wound on his back since Friday, the caretaker noted that it was still alive on Monday morning.
Naghina talaga siya naman. Sakit talaga yan. Alang-alang ang dugo na. Tayo kag-dugo, walang sakit. Siyempre, nagtakak talaga.
While all the other pigs seemed healthy, another one bears the same marks, with its tongue also sticking out. The caretaker says pigs were eating rice from this pile of trash located right inside the farm.
Tapos gilagay sa loob lalagyan. Pinipili kang kanin, ilagay doon. Ang basura, dyan ilagay.
In a nearby barangay, 2 more hogs died since the start of August, while 30 were called after showing symptoms, including loss of appetite.
Sumusuka sila ng minsan yung dilaw, minsan dugo. Dugo yung sinusuka ng baboy. Pantal-pantal yung balat nila.
The Agriculture Department reports an increased mortality of pigs in backyard farms. The mortality rate is 2% higher beyond normal in affected towns. Still, the DA refused to identify the disease.
We directed BAI to conduct further confirmatory laboratory tests, including sending blood samples to foreign laboratories. All diseases that are possible, hindi lang iisa tinitingnan natin.
It will take 2 weeks to 3 months to find out the results. But for now, the DA has placed the areas under quarantine and is implementing a 1710 protocol.
Yung 7 surveillance area yon, nagte-test or nagsasample tayo further, and movements will be controlled. When say movements will be controlled, wala mo nang papasok or lalabas.
But foreign states like Taiwan are not taking any chances. The Taiwan News reports it has begun checking all carry-on bags from the Philippines as a precaution against African swine fever or ASF, as possible ASF cases were detected in 2 provinces near Manila. The DA plans to talk with Taiwan regarding the issue.
We'll have to communicate with them na wala pa man confirmatory results.
But hog raisers assure consumers that supply is stable despite reported deaths.
Yung supply, malit lang yun sa total Baka 0.0001% lang.
For now, the DA advises backyard raisers to observe biosecurity measures and avoid swill feeding. Shaila Francisco, We Are One News.
Meanwhile, in Manila, more than 200 children were given polio vaccines on Monday as the city remains at high risk due to overpopulation and unsanitary living conditions in the area. Now, that's on top of the fact that fewer parents availed of the government's vaccination program in the past year. Justin Punsalang with the report.
Manila Mayor Isko Moreno and DOH officials led an anti-polio vaccination program in Quiapo, Manila amid a drop in children who complete the government's immunization program. Unlike most vaccines that are administered via injections, the recipients of polio vaccine only need to open their mouth and swallow the liquid. No injection, no crying. The process was quick and painless for the 215 preschool children at the Del Paso Covered Court in Quiapo, Manila. This joint program of the DOH, World Health Organization, and UNICEF is called Olats ang Polio sa Maynila. Manila Mayor Isko Moreno and Vice Mayor Hani Lacuna Pangan graced the event. Mayor Isko thanked parents who allow their children to be immunized.
Hindi lamang dito, kundi sa buong Maynila. Kaya sana, kung may mga nanonood, may kakilala pa kayo, kayo'y magtungo na sa kani-kaniyang health center. Pero ngayon, patak-patak lang, lulusog na ang ating mga anak. Mapoproteksyonan na ang kalusugan ng ating mga anak na maaaring makamit na sakit sa ating kapaligiran.
DOH Undersecretary Eric Domingo and Assistant Secretary Eric Tayag were also present in the activity. The Health Department says it has been years since the last polio case was reported in the country. But based on their monitoring, the city of Manila is high risk because of low polio vaccination coverage, congestion in the city, and unsanitary living conditions, especially for the poor.
Wala namang polio sa Philippines since 2010. The last case recorded was 2009. Kaya natin ginagawa ito kasi ayaw nating bumalik talaga ang polio sa Pilipinas.
Meanwhile, the agency is noting that dengue cases are still continuously rising.
Ngayong taon, meron na tayong 188,562 cases ng dengue. Yung mga regions naman natin na epidemic, pareho pa rin. Meron na tayong reported na 807 fatalities so far.
The health department earlier said that NCR is above the dengue alert level and is now nearing the epidemic threshold. For News 5, Justine Punsalang, we are One News.
As several regions struggle with the dengue outbreak, the National Dengvaxia Task Force says initial findings compel them not to use the controversial vaccine to curb dengue cases. In an interview with the chief, Task Force Chairman Eduardo Hanairo says there's not enough evidence to prove Dengvaxia's efficiency or safety. Now, while there is also no hard evidence linking Dengvaxia to the deaths of several children, Hanairo says the government has not been able to fully track the status of hundreds of thousands of kids that received Dengvaxia shots to come up with a conclusion. He says it's better to be on the safe side and avoid the possible consequences of a drug that may need further testing.
You're saying, in effect, that there's no point in continuing with the Dengvaxia.
Very true. That definitely. That we have to consider.
Well, there's your stone.
Have you found any deaths linked to the vaccine?
They will always say that there is no way to link the vaccine to deaths, but there is still no way to tell us
to prove
it is not really.
Yeah.
Trans-Pinay Gretchen Diez met some key government officials in her quest to fight for gender equality. And now, she finally had a chance to meet President Duterte to voice her concerns for the LGBTQ+ community. President Duterte met with Diez and the other LGBTQ+ advocates on Monday, along with Bataan 1st District Representative Geraldine Roman. Now, in the meeting, Duterte promised to work with Congress to push for the passage of the SOGI Equality Bill that would protect their rights against discrimination. One of the proposals raised was the creation of an LGBTQ+ commission pending the enactment of the SOGI Equality Law. The organization of a national LGBTQ convention where advocates from different regions will be represented was also discussed in the meeting. Now, this convention will serve as a venue to raise concerns and propose policies to push for the cause of gender equality. Defense Chief Delphine Lorenzana has already aired his concern on possible spying from Chinese workers in POGO hubs located near military bases. But it seems President Duterte remains cool to the idea, saying the government has enough intelligence capabilities to know what they're up to. Maricel Halili has the report.
Presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo on Saturday shared a text message from Chinese ambassador to the Philippines, Zhao Zhenhua. In the text, Zhao asked, what if their government also suspects Filipino workers in China of spying for our country? The remark was in response to defense officials' concerns over the influx of Chinese workers in Philippine offshore gaming operators or POGO hubs in the country. They questioned their establishment near sensitive military bases. In a statement, Defense Secretary Delphine Lorenzana called Ambassador Zhao's remarks preposterous. He said it is a known fact that Chinese companies are mandated by their government to assist in intelligence gathering. Lorenzana said it is possible that Chinese citizens can be compelled to do so as well. Lorenzana added that OFWs cannot be compared to Chinese workers here because Filipinos go to China just to work. Malacanang supports Lorenzana's statement.
It will not apply to us. Kasi nga, iba naman ng workers, wala namang ganong kagaya ng POGO. Moreover, parang nabanggit ko pa na baka masyado tayong security conscious.
Despite the concern, Malacanang says President Rodrigo Duterte is not alarmed.
The President said that with respect to the proximity, the President said any foreign national working here group need not be near the military camps in order to get intelligence. Because considering the high tech, even if you're 1,000 miles away, they can spy on us if they want. He's not worried because we have the intelligence capability of knowing what they are doing.
Senator Ping Lacson, meanwhile, slammed Panelo for releasing a statement that seems as though he is the spokesperson of the Chinese embassy. In a tweet, Lacson asked whether Panelo really is the presidential spokesperson or the Chinese embassy spokesman. Panelo defended his actions.
It is the duty of the office of the presidential spokesperson to share any information relative to any concern affecting the Filipinos abroad or here. Trabaho natin yun. Kailangan malaman nila.
For News 5, Maricel Halili, we are One News.
Still on China, PAGCOR has suspended offshore gaming applications in the country as various government officials raised their concern over the influx of Chinese workers in the country. Bim Santos with a report.
Starting 2016, offshore gambling firms have been sprouting in various parts of the country, some even near military camps. Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana has expressed concern that POGO employees may engage in espionage. The Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation has accredited 58 POGO firms and 214 service providers. These companies mostly hire Mandarin-speaking Chinese to help assist betting mainlanders. Now, there are over 100,000 Chinese workers employed in POGO-affiliated firms in the country. PAGCOR has suspended new POGO applications for now, but says the defense chief's concerns are unfounded.
I think it's coincidental. I think it's just some very creative minds saying no.
The Bureau of Immigration also notes an increase in the number of arrested undocumented Chinese. Of the total arrested foreign nationals without working permits this year.
Marami pong mga pumupunta dito, complying with the laws, with the proper documentation. Our main problem are those riders and come here to work without the proper documentation.
The palace says they support PAGCOR, but they will defer the security issue to the DND.
Kung anong rekomendasyon ng National Security Advisor or Secretary of National Defense, that will be considered by the President.
Foreign Affairs Secretary Teodoro Locsin says the DFA will do its part to address the influx of Chinese workers in the country by stamping visas on Chinese passports. Former DFA Secretary Albert Del Rosario stopped the practice during his time because the Chinese visas contained the 9-dash line. But Locsin says the DFA has worked a way around it.
Our stamp shows the full extent of Philippine claims, the exclusive economic zone, Philippine claims. Well, I don't want to mention it now and get all the embassies angry, but it's the farthest extent of Philippine claims to territory. And we stamp that on top of the 9-dash line. Now, if they want to avoid getting that stamp, don't come to my country. That's all we can do though for now.
Bim Santos, we are One News.
Here are the biggest stories from the dailies. Malacanang is challenging online media outlet Vera Files to prove its report that President Duterte received millions of pesos in gifts, adding that if he did, they would have gone to the office of the president and not to him personally. According to the Philippine Star, Vera Files reported that Duterte received more than 193 million pesos in deposits in his 69th birthday back when he was still mayor in Davao. These were based off a bank record submitted to the Senate by former opposition Senator Antonio Trillanes. Duterte drew criticisms earlier this month for saying it was okay for police officers to accept thank you gifts. Now, Pala says it's just a matter of common sense to identify a gift's value. If it can't be settled, then there's always the court, he said. This from the Freeman, Mayor Edgardo Labella has decided to stop giving rice subsidy to habal-habal drivers to give away for the fire survivors in Cebu. However, the move is questioned by opposition councilors. They say that they are not opposed to giving relief goods to fire victims, but only with the decision to give away the rice intended for habal drivers. The councilors are now requesting the city's legal office assistance regarding the matter. And Pangmasa reports that South Korean authorities raided one of the biggest K-pop management firms on Saturday. That's with the ongoing investigation into Yang Yoon-suk, the founder and the former chief producer of YG Entertainment, which manages largely successful groups like Big Bang and Blackpink. South Korean police placed Yang under formal investigation earlier this week over illicit gambling, allegations implicating him along with Sung-ri, a former member of YG's Big Bang. Let's fast break now to Sports Rush. It's still the same old faces showing up in the Gilas practices, and Coach Yang Yao is not happy. 12 players attended Monday's extended practice, including Andre Blatch, Gabe Norwood, and Matthew Wright. Now, these are the same players who were present in their back-to-back practices last Saturday, and some of them are already feeling the exhaustion. Poy Eram got hurt after spraining his ankle, but the NX big man shrugged it off, saying it's no big deal. Wright, meanwhile, strained his right tendon. Junmar Fajardo, R.R. Pogoy, and Choi Rosario were expected to finally join the team practice after their PBA final series wrapped up last Friday, but they were still MIA 11 days before the FIBA World Cup kicks off. And that is why Coach Yang Yao already gave them somewhat of an ultimatum.
Sayang yung araw, no? Nanghihinayang din ako, kaya lang di rin natin sila mapuwersa or mapilit. Alam natin galing sila sa finals. So maybe they know how they feel, they know what their bodies require. So we're giving them the benefit of the doubt, no? So we'll wait for them 1 or 2 more days, pero pag di sila dumating, kailangan magdesisyon na rin tayo.
Tapilok lang. Medyo na masakit, pero yun, kaya naman.
And that's how today is shaping up to be. Join us again next time for another round of Rush. I'm Riza Diez. We are One News.